Hi, it's John Dixon here, Vice President of America Sales and Global Marketing here at Silicon Labs. And I am incredibly honored to have Guneet Bedi here from Arduino. Really exciting stuff going on. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, just maybe a little bit about yourself and what your role at Arduino.
Absolutely, John. I'm happy to be here. First of all, thank you so much. It's a great conference. Love all the innovation as well as the really forward-looking talks here. So I'm Guneet Bedi. I'm the Senior Vice President and General Manager for the Enterprise Business for Arduino. And a lot of you will be scratching your head when I say that, saying Enterprise and Arduino. But, we've been around for 18 years. It's one of the largest open source ecosystem for semis. Specifically focused a lot on MCU as well as, some of the microprocessor side. And about 4 years ago, we started this journey where all the students, all the 36 million developers who love us, they were like, I want to use you at work. So, why don't you actually have products for me that can actually work in my day-to-day production? So we started a line called Arduino Pro. And that's what we've been using at really going from prototyping into production. So excited to be here and excited to talk about it.
Well, me too. Like Arduino is like a household name, right? I feel like anyone in tech knows like it's the original open source development platform. People love us.
Yeah.
We have actually a part, like kind of a CP210X part that we have, USB to UART converter. And the amount of interest we have on our website for that supersedes everything else because awesome. It's part of Arduino.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about the communities, Arduino, the communities it serves. Like, it's 36 million people.
That's right. So it's about 36 million active developers. So there might be more. And, it's funny you said that because every time I meet somebody, even including here, the first thing they say is, oh, my first project in school was Arduino. My first project in high school, in college. And the next question right after that, what are you doing here? So it's really interesting where we've been, the company's been around for 18 years, 2005 is when we started. And it was more a project than a company initially, where all we were trying to do was really make electronics very simple to use.
Okay.
And our founder started that in design school in Italy. So they were actually focused on teaching design students who have zero background in technology and electronics, how to use just semiconductors and MCUs. And it actually became the first low-code, concept in electronics. Took off, made it a company. And today we have, like I said, a very active developer base, focused on making, tinkering, a lot of engineers who like to do their, side as well as first projects and prototypes.
In the evenings,
In the evenings, moonlighting, garages, a lot of educators. Yeah. So the next generation talent is learning on robotics, IoT, AI at the edge specifically with us, because we have graduated from an 8-bit architecture to a very sophisticated architecture, which is also what we're doing with Scilabs and a few other, partners. And then I think the last thing is really where we're seeing a lot of growth is where the talent base is not there for you if you don't have millions of units to do chip down design. How do you do a modular approach? Yeah. So, we have sensor fusion and system on modules, which allow you to get to market faster with all the knowledge you gain at home.
And I guess it removes the complexity of people having to do prototype boards or any kind of soldering and messing with stuff, which is not an average person that can do that.
That's right.
So what makes it a good development platform? Like, what are the components that you see that you're like, this is why people use this platform?
That's a good question. And if you have kids, we'll get you some kits for them to play.
They're young kids, but they're getting there.
Okay, all right.
Old. My oldest, she's getting there. So.
Nice. I have an 8-year-old who just started a first Arduino project. So
it's great. Well, take care of that.
Ease of use. So I think that's the first thing. It doesn't matter if you're a young teenager or you're a education student or you're a software developer who wants to really understand hardware.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing is ease of use. We truly call our vision to be democratizing electronics.
Yeah.
So anybody and everybody should be able to use it. You don't really have to have a EE degree. Of course, a EE degree helps you to do advanced stuff, but you don't need one. Yeah. So I think the first is ease of use. I think the second is modularity. So, we've had a certain form factor, Unos and Nanos, but what that has allowed us, because we're open source, we allow anybody to make additional shields, what we call. So it's an ecosystem of hats and shields that makes it very modular to you to, we have everything from any kind of protocol in industrial to all kinds of, we have LoRa, we have Wi-Fi, now we have Matter. So, lots of different ways to communicate, a lot of different ways to add sensors. So I think that's the second approach. And the third approach, which has been really good is we've created a solution-based idea, which is you have the firmware, the IDE, which goes to any of the silicon, but also we have a cloud platform, which is today being used by about 150,000 users. And, so it took in the year and a half, which makes it easier to you to understand the whole IoT deployment cycle. How do you do device management? How do you do over-the-air updates? And how do you do that in any silicon?
It's basically a product that's
Exactly.
productized.
Exactly.
That you actually can use.
In an easy to use and modular. So even in the professional line, we've always tried to make it easy to use. So I think the biggest other big thing is library support. So we have close to 8,000 libraries, and all of these libraries work on your maker stuff, but also your professional side of things. So a huge support of libraries, and the forums and the community is so active that they take care of the library support and development themselves. So
yeah, it's probably not obvious, I guess. Like I see it in the the business to business world where we're selling to companies, Silicon Labs. The need for everything to go open source.
Yeah.
Now in an embedded world, now versus 5 years ago, it's completely changed. The open source nature of things and what people are looking for, they want open source, they want availability of online libraries. And honestly, if I look back at it, it's Arduino where this all comes from.
Yes, I think
that's what's driven this end professional.
Yeah, we feel very proud and humbled that we're one of the companies or projects that make that movement. So absolutely, and it's been done in software. Today, Linux is everywhere. More than 50% of
the beginning. That was the first open source platform.
And John, as you know, like 50% or more of the data center software today is open source. Be it Google, be it Amazon. So why not semiconductors?
I didn't know that amount. That's
insane. Okay. So why not semiconductors?
Yeah. Well, we're adapting quickly to meet that need.
Yeah.
Tell us about we had a common platform we've worked on recently with the Arduino Nano Matter board.
Yep.
Where did that come from? What was the origin of that? Why Silicon Labs?
Yeah. So we've always been fascinated by smart home as well as smart cities and industries.
Yeah.
And we've always seen you're from Europe, so you get it. We're the Switzerland of semis, right? So we have a board with almost every vendor.
From close to
yeah. So we're like, we were really impressed with how Matter is really trying to do the interoperability across various vendors. Very, very impressed by the Lab.Sci Labs, the role that y'all are playing in really driving that Matter as a technology, as a platform. And the only thing we found out with a lot of conversation was it's still very hard to use Matter, right? So what we wanted to do was partner with you guys who have the most advanced technology in that area in wireless communication. The performance, the low power that Silicon Labs brings is phenomenal. And what we bring is the ease of use.
Yes.
So we wanted to create a platform which we are very, very happy that we're launching next month, which is actually coming together the ease of use of something like Arduino with the power and the low power, as well as the advanced features of Silicon Labs. So Nano Matter is the product. So it's in our little form factor, very compact nano.
Insane. So see what the features of this thing can do. Yeah.
And Sci Labs. So, it's the best of performance and, low power with a very easy to use platform.
Yeah, it's for me, I think it's going to be interesting to see the developer reaction to this and kind of see what they come, because I think if I look at our Silicon Labs website, we sell a lot of wireless products.
Right.
And, this year I have seen, and actually half of last year, I've seen such an insane increase in traffic on our website.
Right.
Because of Matter and the interest around it.
Yeah.
People are hungry to find a common platform for smart home products. They don't want to have a Bluetooth, a Zigbee, a Wi-Fi, all of these different products. They're all trying to connect with each other. And I feel like Matter, the promise of Matter is there. I think the technology is there, but you're right. It's the ease of use for the thousands of customers that are trying to figure out how to tie into this and hobbyists. And, you have a lot.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, John. I think we launched an engineering sample community preview 3 months ago. We launched it on our website as well as with Mouser. We've been overwhelmed with the positive response. I mean, there's been hundreds of these boards which have gone into hundreds of engineers' hands. The kind of projects we're seeing and the feedback we're seeing on the forum, in fact, is one of the few technologies where we've not had to do so much forum support. It's just working.
Really?
It's just, it's been very organic.
So what causes that? Is that because you have so many people, or just so many people interested and knowledgeable that are sharing? Like, what's that?
I think it's a ladder. Probably is my hypothesis. It's only 3 months, so I wouldn't be like sure on my. But I think it's the combination of ease of use, as well as people are so excited to use something for end devices, because the border routers have always been there. So they've been good. So that's the advantage we have. But what's not been that easy to do is the end devices. And now I think there's so much interest to do it. So that's probably why people are figuring it out.
Awesome. So last question before we close up is, what kind of things keep you up, when you're thinking about, the future of this platform, the future of Arduino? Like, what are the things that you think about that you're like, are we thinking enough about this? Is this coming up? Is this a challenge? Like, what are the things that keep you up?
It's a really good question, John. So I think, what we realized in the educations as well as the, enterprise side is we need to make a lot of sample applications for really showing people how do you use a any technology, because technology is as good as it's being used for a use case. And I think that's probably where what keeps me up is, how do we together do a better job? Can we create courses, samples, example applications? Can we even have the consortiums like CSA push that down to the industry? So I think that's one part, just how do you make it more sample application, use case driven versus tech first driven? And the second thing really is, I feel it's not taken off in the industrial and the enterprise side. It's still a very smart home technology. I think a lot of people are betting on industrial and enterprise. So I think we'll have to find that out.
Yeah, I think that's, from the Silicon Lab side, we see a large amount of the implementations.
Yep.
What's actually very surprising for me, which may not be obvious, we've had a few hundred customers here over the last 2 days, and a lot of them that I've talked about have Matter products.
Yeah.
But they haven't released them yet.
They haven't released them yet.
And there's different factors to that.
Yeah.
But then again, we have a Matter product.
Yeah.
And we're waiting till this product inventory sells off, and then we're going to release this, and we're waiting for the Google and the Apple infrastructure to be fully ready, which should be in a couple of months, and then they're going to fire it out. So it's kind of like just about to all happen. And I think then what you're going to see with the launch of the Nano Matter platform as well is it's all going to come at the same time.
Yeah, we hope so.
So you're just going to see all of this big activity.
We're very excited.
I'm truly excited.
Yeah, we're very excited too. I think it's the coming of open source community and approach with a very powerful technology in the enterprise. So I think we have all the right ingredients.
Yeah, and thanks for choosing Silicon Labs to bring our solution to the masses as well. You have such a broad platform. We're honored to work with you guys. So
same here.
Thank you for that.
All right.
So Guneet, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you, John. Thanks, guys.